Well, it's going to be the common sense commentary. That's all I do. I'm going to say this. Why do people revolt? Why do people in the country revolt? Is it because they just one day woke up and say, oh, I got principles and I need to stand for these principles, so I'm going to revolt? No, they don't do that. I can put it to you simple and stupid, but actually it's very, very, very true what I'm going to tell you. What they really revolt for is usually over money or economic conditions. They're getting screwed over. That's why they revolt, right? Why the founding fathers revolt? Did they just go ahead and say, let's make a constitution? Well, I think we got to have these principles. No, they're getting screwed over by the tax man, right? Over in the UK, the crown. Old King George is trying to screw them on taxes. So they revolted, right? Then they had the Tea Party, right? What did they do? Did they walk out there lockstep in broad daylight? I say, dear fellow, we're going to throw the tea off the freaking ship, and there's nothing you can do to stop us, because we know we're being wronged. No, they went at night, dressed like a bunch of Indians, and they threw it over at night like a bunch of sneaks, right? So what does Adam Kokesh do? He marches into Washington, pure daylight. I mean, you guys can't see what the deal is with this freaking yo-yo. He's not that stupid, man. I'm laughing at this shit because I can't keep a straight face on it. It's freaking ridiculous. You know, why do people revolt? It's over money and economic conditions. Look what's going on in Bahrain, right? You know, it's like all kinds of money in there and all kinds of oil money. They got the ruling elite, the Sunni elite. They got these big giant palaces, all this room. They got trees everywhere and irrigation to make, to water the trees. And they got tens of thousands of people that are Shias living in like little huts, like freaking paupers to the max. So why did people revolt? Why did, I forgot what year it was. I could look it up. I think it was 1932 or 1933 when the World War I veterans were marched on Washington. It was the bonus march. It was over money. So, Kokesh, man, I don't know, man. Wish people could see this shit, because I'm like, man, I don't know. There's a lot of people do see it, but there's a lot of people that don't. And I think most people should really see through it really good. Yeah, there is like people in the United States that are making in so much money, and there's so much inequality. Holy shit, that might be a better march to do. Actually the 99% march on Wall Street was a little bit better than thought out. I don't think that was a good idea either. But actually I can't say. Because I'd be playing shrewd. I'd be playing real. I just couldn't say what I would do. I mean, like, if I just want to say play around, like, and say something like how I would march on Washington, hey, go through the sewer system, and pop up out of the grate, at the bottom and, surprise them, I mean, what the hell? I mean, and, honestly, in the United States, if you're having a march on Washington, yeah, they're going to arrest you and take your gun and all this other shit, and you're probably going to be a felon, but they're not going to, like, shoot your ass unless somebody shoots at them first. If you were marching on Hitler or Stalin back in the day, and they'd be up there like, the government or whatever, the Hitler government or the Stalin government would be like, hey, they'd be taking bets, second one on the right, third button. They'd be like popping them, they'd be betting each other how accurate they could shoot the guys and trying to march on them. It'd be a joke, man. And they wouldn't even care, except in Germany, I think at the time, they actually liked Hitler, believe it or not. Of course, they didn't know what he was about, I'm sure, right? Frickin' Germany. I don't know. But anyway, that's what, in the United States, they're going to do some shit like that. More likely, unless something doesn't crazy happen. But, even look at what happened after the American Revolution. They said, how are we going to pay for all the risk? The government got in debt. So what did they do? They had the whiskey tax. So the Americans revolted again, right? They revolted again, right? They had the whiskey rebellion. Then Washington came in there and put it down, right? So, I mean, if you're going to revolt, do it over money. I mean, like, look, beat, Pancho Villa, I mean, for crying out loud. You know, I mean, like in Mexico, they got some brains too. I mean, they got all these bullshit rules. Like I heard what they do is they have a building or a house, and you get taxed on it when it's finished. So what you do is like you leave a little part of the roof undone, although basically it's done, and you just keep getting a permit. You know, renewing the permit. This way it's a lot cheaper than paying the taxes on a finished thing. See? Anyway, Americans and anybody in the world revolts really over economic conditions. And actually there is some serious disparity going on in the United States between the rich class, the ultra wealthy, and the rest of the people, basically. There is a lot of that going on. But I guess, you know, if you're going to make a march, it ought to be on, like, J.P. Morgan or some shit, you know? I don't know. But, you know, you really shouldn't, you should just really be trying to, you know, get your money back or some shit. I mean, basically, that's really what it ought to be. Not like, you know, you're out there to freaking create harm or, you know, get a principle established. You know, basically it should be, you know, if they stick it to you, you should get your money back. That's the way I look at it. I don't want to say too much more on that because, you know, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to elaborate. You know? And, I don't know. Just do what the hell you want with this Adam Kokesh deal. It's freaking funny, to tell you the truth, that some people actually believe this guy, man. But I can't. And no, I don't like 90% of the freaking alternative media out there. Actually, I can't see a lot of shit on YouTube. Alright? But basically, why do people revolt? It's over money. So, I mean, really. You're going to have a march on D.C., what the hell's that going to do? Nothing. You know? I mean, the veterans back in World War I, you know, the World War I veterans that marched on D.C., I think it was in 1932 or 33, they're trying to get their bonus. Right? Fucking Kokesh, man. He's trying to make some money for himself. He's full of shit. So I just hope, guys, people realize this stuff, man. So, I'd love to suggest shit. But you know what? Let me suggest this. Be shrewd. Don't do anything out in the open. Don't do anything to piss off the establishment unnecessarily unless you're going to make a big giant profit out of it and you don't get caught. How's that? Alright? I mean, if you had a way to, like, you know, I don't want to say, okay? Alright? Don't piss off nobody. Don't get in their face. You're your friends. Don't follow Kokesh, man. Guy's a fucking nut. Anyway, so why do people freaking revolt? It's usually over money. So America's kind of ripe for revolt due to money. Because there's a big, honestly, man, the established major media recognizes this. There is a major disparity between rich and poor in the United States. It's getting wider and wider. Since the crash of like 2008, 2009, everybody else got poorer, and the ultra wealthy, the higher percentage points in this country, got a lot more wealthy. So that's really why things are ripe for revolution. But I don't want to make any suggestions. But the thing is, you don't want to create a lot of turmoil too, because say for instance, you get your money back, right? And say everything's cool, right? Say you got ripped off by the establishment or some shit, right? And you got your money back and everything's cool. You don't want to screw up everything because you want to enjoy the fruits of that money just like they did. You get it? You understand? You don't want to like screw up the whole system and create anarchy. You know what I mean? You just want to like even shit out, get your money, and then be cool and chill. So I'll tell you that. I'm going to say a lot of shit on here. Understand? Don't be an idiot and follow Kokesh, man. That guy's obvious as all hell. If you're doing that shit, man, you're going to get screwed up by not just him, but by anybody. Alright? So that's all I got to say. That's why Americans really want to get in a revolution in the first place. Excessive taxation by old King George. Like, fuck King George, man. We ain't doing that shit. Then King George Washington came by and says, we're going to have a whiskey tax, and then we revolted again, right? But remember, be shrewd. Be shrewd.